Hi there, my name is Leanne, and me and my classmates Seneca, Will, and Nick will be presenting to you case number 8, going over the power of negative advertisement and for travel specifically. This mini case demonstrates how powerful online reviews are when it comes to travel decisions. There are many platforms like TripAdvisor that have become trusted sources because they show you real life experiences for where you're going, so you can make sure that you're getting your money's worth, especially since travel is a high cost and high risk experience or purchase. Consumers will rely on these reviews to reduce uncertainty or loss. Um, because of that, negative reviews can significantly impact demand on specific hotels or travel related purchases, especially when hotels fail to respond. Making review management a really important part of the hospitality marketing.
First question is looking at how easily these websites can influence customers and how much they should allow them to persuade their views. So first, looking at the pros, obviously it can save you a lot of time and money. If you're if you're looking for places to stay or places to eat and you see these good or bad reviews, it can really influence you in a positive way. You know where and when to stay. And it can also show you new places because often a lot of people have brand loyalty. They're only going to eat at certain places. They're only going to stay at the Hilton, stuff like that. But as you can see here, maybe it's better to stay at a dog hotel or something crazy like that. Like something you would never try in your own right mind, but going online and seeing these positive reviews can actually sway your decision and maybe make you have a better positive experience rather than just the normal lukewarm experience you're going to have at a standard Hilton. And then moving on to the cons, this is where the negative reviews play into it. So it's really it's really when people trust the stars rather than the words. And this goes into prospect theory about how people allow the negative things and negative effects to like to overshadow the positives. And I think I use this rating down below. This is Breaking Bad, the highest rated thing on IMDb for movies and TV shows. And it obviously, as you see, it has millions of positive reviews. But then of 10 out of 10s, that's like perfect. And then there's obviously tens of thousands of people that just want to give it a 1 star review. I it's kind of stupid because it really can deflate the value of something because somebody has one bad experience when it could have been user error, or they messed up, or they weren't as patient, or they didn't read the fine print, things like that, and they change the outcome of somebody's ratings, which is often the first thing we look at. Oh, this has 4 stars, 3 stars, 4.5, stuff like that. Whereas if you look at the fine print and really read these people's comments, you can see if these reviews are valuable or not. So I think at the end of the day, you can really have some good experiences through these websites if you truly if you truly study them and look for the credible sources and read them rather than just looking at the eyeball test and just seeing, oh, 3 stars, this isn't gonna be a good place, I'm gonna stick with what I always go with.
So next, we'll be talking about what steps do you recommend a hotel take when dealing with a negative online review. So according to the book, responding to a negative online review is considered best practice in hospitality marketing. So TripAdvisor itself actually described its platform as a marketing tool and a built-in focus group, which allows hotels to kind of learn how to improve services and facilities and things like that. So first, our first point would be monitoring review consistently across platforms. So that can look like kind of having one designated person kind of surf all these review sites and kind of stay active within the process of kind of the post experience for consumers. So once for example, using the hospitality market, um, say you have a hotel and a consumer goes online after their experience and says something kind of bad in terms of their experience or what they went through while they were there and wants to share with other people, um, you want to kind of stay involved in that process of knowing what's going on and what people are talking about, especially if it's regarding your like business or service or whatever. Um, having somebody monitor consistently across like all the review platforms would help keep in a loop and keep up with kind of these improvements that you can make so that you don't encounter these again. Next would be responding quickly, politely, and publicly. First, responding quickly because you don't want the message to kind of linger on and have an opportunity to spread around, especially if you say somebody sends a negative review or posts a negative review and you don't respond till 2 months later and there's already a bunch of people under it saying, wow, that's horrible, we'll never go here. You kind of don't want that, so you want to make sure you get on it quickly. Next, you want to keep it professional, so responding politely, keeping up with your image so you are more welcoming to people rather than if you were rude, people are not going to want to come to you. And then publicly, because yes, it's also good to sort things out privately, but publicly also allows for image to be that you are resolving it and not letting it sit. So if somebody sends a negative review, but you private message them and say, hey, I'm sorry you encountered this. This is how we'll deal with this. We'll offer a discount on your next night or whatever the case may be, or maybe you had an issue, they'll upgrade your suite. Yes, you want to kind of keep that in the private messaging, but you also want to publicly let people know that you are active with their reviews, and you're actively working to improve so they have a good experience the next time they come. Next will be acknowledging the issue and apologizing when appropriate. And this is also to, obviously, you want to address the issue. You don't want to let it sit around, but you also don't want to seem defensive, and you want to validate the consumer's reviews rather than kind of giving a because answer or justification. And then apologize when appropriate. Like I said, you want to keep professional, so try not to kind of, I guess, apologize out of the blue or without actually considering what they're saying on the review and just apologizing just to save your image. Next would be to explain corrective actions without arguing. And this would be to help reassure future readers and not just the viewer. And this could be any type of, I guess, action that the hotel will take to ensure that it doesn't happen again, and you aren't just allowing this, I guess, experience or the experience to be negative without trying to impact it in some positive way. Next would be to move detailed resolution to private messaging. As I mentioned earlier, you can offer direct contact to resolve specifics. So if it was an unfortunate situation and they may have had bed bugs, they put that on a review, you can privately offer an upgraded suite or a free night just due to circumstances that they encountered or had. And it's good to be careful with this, though, because if a guest had a bad experience, you can offer these discounts or free nights. But in the book, also, it warns against publicizing these rewards to avoid encouraging unethical behavior. And more detailed resolution should be handled privately, anyways, through TripAdvisor's messaging system. For example, using TripAdvisors. Overall, the goal is service recovery, trust building, and long-term reputation management rather than being defensive.
I'll be talking about the wisdom of crowds and how it relates to Travelocity reviews. So wisdom of crowds is the belief that groups can be smarter than the smartest within them, and this can be seen as like a hive mind idea or any sort of idea around there. basically the mass opinion of people, or the mass differing of opinion of a large group of people, can bring more information than just one person or a few people that may be considered the smartest can bring to the table. Um, and this kind of flows into the idea of Travelocity reviews, because Travelocity reviews can be seen as trustworthy if they come from a mass group of people. Um, this kind of shows that more people saying yes or no to a hotel or a restaurant, or describing what their experience at this establishment is, um, can be seen as more trustworthy. Like, let's say 50 people said that this restaurant or this hotel treated them well, and a few smarter people had said the same thing. I would honestly trust the 50 other people, just because of the group idea, the fact that there's more data to go on than just one or two people, even though they may be considered the smarter group. And that's why, for me, I would say that fellow travelers like myself would be a more trustworthy source than expert travelers. These fellow travelers can be on the same page as me, as if like a hotel. I don't want to stay at a really high, nice end hotel. I mean, sure, they're nice, but to me, all I really want is a clean bed and a clean shower and a TV, and I'll be set for however long I'm staying there. Um, well, these expert travelers may have done this for so long that they're expecting so much from so little. And it's nice to find the gems like that, but fellow travelers will be able to kind of pick out the average and the best of these averages just from the mass of people staying at these places or eating at these places, and these few expert travelers that are hunting down that brick in the wall gem that they love to talk about. And that's why I would honestly stick with the fellow traveler's idea and opinion rather than an expert traveler's opinion.
So the main takeaway from this presentation is that customer reviews are more than just feedback. They are a strategic marketing and consumer behavior tool. Even the tiniest improvements in ratings can lead to higher profit and better pricing power. Hotels that manage to respond with empathy and transparency show accountability, and accountability improves consumer trust. Finally, the wisdom of the crowd explains why consumers trust large volumes of reviews, as patterns across many travelers are more reliable than any single opinion. For me personally, I would trust something in everything, not just travel. I trust a product or a place that has more reviews, because I trust that multiple people have tried it and that it works. So thank you for listening, and see you another semester.